Woo boy, it's been a busy week from Turkey Day being just yesterday to stuff that happened within the week on social media with some anime YouTubers. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for the, of course, chapter review of 1033, which is titled Shimosuke Kozaburo, which I'm probably mispronouncing, but I know for a fact I'm saying Shimotsuki right, because that comes in later. And usually with these reviews that I've done previously, I break stuff down in chronological order and kind of lead into stuff that happens later. But with this, there's not really anywhere else to start past what starts the chapter off. So I'm going to start off proper with the exact first thing. And I'm just going to immediately go into everything else that happens. So it starts off immediately where we saw Zoro last time, disregarding the panels with Hiyori last week. It's Zoro versus King, and Enma is draining Zoro's haki. And Zoro is able to get Enma back under control, and King notices this. He takes it into, like, he legitimately points this out as a thing. And Zoro actually lands an attack. And then King blows up. Like, legitimately detonates. And that's where we leave that. And then we get a nice little catch-up with Sanji and Queen, showing that Sanji is actually being able to fight against Queen without the raid suit. Which I don't know if he thought he was able to do, or what. But he's actually doing it, as we see Queen is... It's the result of the Hell memories last time we saw it. But he slammed through a wall, so he's probably in good standing. And Queen tells us what we already knew, but he's telling Sanji now that King is a Lunarian, and he is, like, the only one left of his kind, and they used to be looked at as gods. They were just that strong. And Sanji then asks, how could beings like that get wiped out? And Queen responds, that's something you'll have to find out yourself. And then prepares an attack. But that leads back into the Zoro vs. King thing, which is when I'm just gonna kind of throw everything out that like in order. Zoro lands one sword style lethal lion song, his Shishi's own song, I think it is in Japanese, and King takes it, and then he does another Imperial Tempura and blasts it right at Zoro. And now, like I said, I'm actually going to now skip. We find out that Zoro's... I'm going to check before I say anything wrong. The Sandai Katetsu that he got in Logue Town, because it was a cursed blade. The Wado Ichimonji that he got from Kuina, or not from Kuina, but he got from Kuina's memory. And Enma were all forged by the same guy. A guy that Zoro knew, actually, from his time back in Shimotsuki Village. And in Shimotsuki Village, there happened to have been an old geezer who just so happened to know a lot about swords. His name was Shimotsuki Kozaburo. So, we know from earlier in Wano, I believe it was Act 1, when the Guardian guy, I forget his name, but the guy that found Zoro and kind of told him what's up with Wano, what's up with the swords, told him, the master swordsman Shimotsuki Kozaburo left this country illegally over 50 years ago. That's going against Wano's closed borders. But the geezer from Shimotsuki Village had been in Shimotsuki Village because he was afraid of the Marines finding him. He even makes it a very clear point when Zoro asks him if he was a samurai. You're gonna bring the Marines out on my head. Be quiet. Which just says, like, this is basically just confirming that one old man forged all of Zoro's swords. There's not a... this is a good chapter. It is a good length chapter. It has a lot of meat to it. But it just points out the fact... This is mostly just us getting accustomed to Zoro's swords again. Like, it's just pointing out the stuff. They were all forged by the same guy. Which we didn't need to know to continue this arc, but it's nice flavor, and it builds up what happens at the end of the chapter that I'm purposely going to leave for the end of the review. So, with all of this stuff coming out, that all of his swords have a major thing. Enma being directly from Odin, one sword being from Kuina, one being a curse blade he got back in Logtown. I am starting to think that I thought this at first, way back when, because of the fact that I just thought it would be interesting if one of Zoro's swords broke, and that would either be the Wado Ichimonji or the Sandai Kitetsu. That's at least what I thought. But now that he has 3 swords forged by the same guy, I don't think that's gonna happen. I never voiced that that might happen in a video. That's just something that I always thought. For no reason, really, I just thought it would be cool if Zoro could end up getting Odin's other sword. Which, I would like to point out, in this chapter, we do get dialogue from Zoro asking Enma if Odin was able to control the sword so easily, while also maintaining that much Haki output to be able to control Enma. That just puts into perspective how strong Odin's Haki was. Like, how potent it was. And I'm just kind of disregarding everything that's happening, like, in the middle. Zoro almost loses the Sandai Kitetsu. It doesn't fall off the, of Onigashima. Then we get everything that happened with Zoro declaring that he'll become the world's best swordsman, strong enough that his name will reach to the heavens and Kuina will know. And then we finally get we finally get a little bit of an explanation on the Sanachi thing that Zoro told Momo way back, and that he straight up said himself, it's just something an old geezer from my village used to say. I never use the word myself. We find out, surprise, surprise, that Shimotsuki Kozaburo was the old man in his village, and he was the one that told him about Sanachi, because he was a samurai from Wano. Everything's just kind of starting to add up and make a lot of sense now. That's how I can kind of describe this entire chapter, is it's making everything make sense. And we get an added thing. I don't know if we knew this or not beforehand. This might completely be on me for being an idiot. The old man was Kuina's grandfather. Apparently. I either forgot about that, or we didn't know it, or something. But that was a brand new revelation to me for this chapter. And in one panel, we see Zoro just, I can't, you know what, I'm not even, we see Zoro trying to put 2 and 2 together, that the old man way back when told him that he had named a sword, his magnum opus sword that he forged, he named after the Lord of the Underworld. And the god of the Underworld's name is Enma. I feel like this is really Zoro just being an idiot, which isn't his character, but not putting together the fact that he has a sword named Enma, and an old man in his village talked about a sword named Enma that he made. I feel like that's just really weird for Zoro to not realize. If he was any character but Zoro, he's Zoro, so it makes sense. And then we get nice dialogue from the old man saying, just not really anything major, just named blades stay vigilant, they wait patiently to find a swordsman worthy of them. And then we get, Enma isn't trying to drain Zoro's energy. It's not acting out of malice. It's testing Zoro to see if he is worthy. And then we get, like, 4 panels, 3 of them in order, 1 of them out, that just throw a wrench into everything. And I'm going to read it off and describe what's happening. So Zoro is doing his basic cover the swords in armament Haki so they don't break. And he says, I can only appease Enma's Haki needing if I put out all my Haki. But that could kill me. No, this is how it's meant to be. And then we see some random beast pirates that are about to start fighting Zoro, pass out, and start foaming at the mouths. And King remarks, I see. So you've also got kingly ambitions. Way back, Kaido soft confirmed that Zoro had Conqueror's Haki, but he didn't know how to use it. Zoro in that chapter even said, what are you talking about? But we see here that Zoro is using advanced Conqueror's Haki, seemingly on instinct, or something that he trained with in his 2 years, which just, oh boy, but this hard confirms Zoro is a Conqueror's Haki user. Just hard confirms. And to wrap this chapter off, we get 2 of the sweetest panels I think we've gotten here lately. It's a flashback way back to Zoro's introduction, with Luffy saying the world's greatest swordsman. Actually, I'll do a little special thing for this. The world's greatest swordsman? That's perfect. The future king of the pirates wouldn't sell for anything less. The dialogue that basically set Zoro into the crew. And we get the final panel of the chapter with Zoro saying, "I guess you're right. After all, I made promises to my captain and my oldest friend." Which either means I'm going to be the devil's advocate and play it here by saying the oldest friend. That is either referring to Kuina or Luffy. The fact that it is said in the same sentence strengthens the argument for it being referring to Luffy as the oldest friend. But the fact that it is the oldest friend and we focus on Kuina so much this chapter makes me think that that dialogue is talking about her. But yeah, it was a very big chapter for Zoro fans like me. I mean, I'm not really like a Zoro fan, I'm not really a Sanji fan, I'm just kind of like a middle of the road kind of guy. But whatever, this is a really good chapter. And I believe the next chapter is going to come out next week. It was December 3rd, so I think that is next week. And I'm going to make a very bold prediction that 1034 is going to come out, and then Oda's going to go on his week break. Because that's seeming to be how his schedule goes. He gives us a handful of chapters, then takes his 1 week break, handful of chapters, 1 week break. Which is completely fine, but I'm just putting it out there that next week might be the last one we get without a break. And I'm just going to wrap the video up here. I hope you had a good week. Hope you had a good Turkey Day. And stay safe, have fun, play more games, and read more manga. Until next time, see you guys. Bye.